So talk to me about that journey. When did you sense that you were a writer and you had something to say?
I think I was 8 years old and I was in the 3rd grade in San Jose, California, and my teacher had us all write and draw our own books, and mine was Lester the Cat. And the San Jose Public Library gave Lester the Cat a book award. And that was my first taste of literary fame. And, I'm forever grateful to the library for setting me on the path to more than 30 years of misery in trying to become a writer. But that was where I experienced this possibility that there was something joyful and fun in creating. And I think that for a lot of people, when they're small, we feel that as children. And then life, adults, parents, teachers beat that out of us, and we think creating is painful, and we do something more practical. So I think that's been very important to me, is to acknowledge that being a writer has required 30 years of discipline, but that 30 years of discipline has been an effort to get me back to that moment of being a child and finding joy in creation.
Then 30 years of misery, though. You talked about discipline. Can you talk about the journey, how difficult it is, the life of a writer, and that process?
So I think there are probably some writers for whom writing is easy. I've never met one, and if I ever meet one, I'll hate that person. But I think for most people, it is a difficult experience. And I think the positive thing to take away from that is that if you sit somewhere for 10,000 hours and you write, you will become a writer. And I can't guarantee that you'll be a good writer, but you will be a writer. You can do 10,000 hours in 10 years, you can do it in 50 years, but if you do it, you will become a writer. And that's the most important part. I mean, writing is a discipline. And it's also a calling. This is something that was very hard for me to confront, because as a young writer, I wanted to be famous and I wanted all the human rewards and everything. But the more I spent time writing and realizing that I was not that talented, the more I realized that the real reward was in the writing itself. So that's what I mean, that this idea that writing just requires a lot of time is very daunting in one way. But in the other way, it means that all of us can do this and all of us can be writers if we're willing to put the time into it.